Yesterday, before going to bed, I decided to record a video with my genuine, unfiltered thoughts on the anniversary live stream, including the rewards that players were very dissatisfied with. I went to sleep, I woke up, and here we are. A official announcement, a response from the WuWa dev team themselves regarding the version 2.3 preview special broadcast to our dear rovers. After the Wuthering Waves version 2.3 preview special broadcast, we received plenty of suggestions, thoughts, and criticisms from you. We've been paying close attention to all feedback, and we'd like to take this opportunity to address your concerns and sincerely apologize for the disappointment. Our roadmap for the recent versions of WuWa allocated development resources to an anniversary experience in version 2.3 that is both relaxing and entertaining. However, this allocation did not meet our rovers' expectations for an anniversary celebration. They are true, it was relaxing, it was entertaining. I think the vast majority of people thoroughly enjoyed the live stream itself, which is what the rest of my video actually details, but the anniversary celebration specifically here is what players had an issue with, and that was entirely warranted. I covered that in the video too. At the same time, we fell short in how the broadcast was structured, scripted, and presented, leading to a poor viewing experience. We, the dev team, have identified and acknowledged certain shortcomings in our recent management, preparation, and delivery. Once again, I don't think that was the issue necessarily. I think the issue was just that players wanted more. What happened has shown us even more clearly that WuWa's accomplishments over the past year would not have been possible without our rovers, which I stressed, and yeah, I will cover in a little bit, especially rovers who have been with us on this journey from the very start, because it seemed like they were prioritizing new players, returning players over players that have been actively supporting them for the entirety of the year. We want you to know that we're planning future versions with you in mind, which is great to hear. So please stay tuned for more updates. Again, we deeply apologize for failing to meet the expectations of our longtime rovers. We also recognize that there is still much room for improvement in how we operate and support the game long term. We're committed to growing and refining every aspect of WuWa. To express our gratitude and sincerest apologies, we'll be launching a login event this week where the following content will be available to unlock and claim. The opening time will be given in a later official announcement. You will get 10 Radiant Tide, 10 Forging Tide, 10 Lustrous Tide, so 10 Standard, 10 Limited, 10 Weapon Pulls. Thank you once again for your support and belief in WuWa, the WuWa dev team. I think this is a great step in the right direction. I retweeted this giving my, like a TLDR. Honestly, this is a great step in the right direction. 10 more Limited, 10 Standard, and 10 Weapon Pulls, all accessible this week with the promise of better versions with players in mind in the future. I still think the community would prefer increased rewards, but genuinely appreciate them owning up to and addressing the drama, because it is true they could have remained silent. They could have not given us any additional rewards and just let the whole thing blow over, but they didn't. They addressed it, they owned up to it, and as always, while not, I guess, the altered rewards that we might have wanted, like a guaranteed banner or a free 5-star, it's still something much better than what we got, with the promise of more in the future. And who knows, they said they have another official announcement coming, so with that we might get more. I guess we'll have to wait and see over the coming days. Now, the rest of my video still holds entirely true, so I'm going to include that after this segment, but I just wanted to point out here that, like always, Kuro is listening and have addressed our concerns. I've made a career out of being genuine and honest and blunt with all of you. I have repeatedly called out malpractices. I've repeatedly called out when devs have done things wrong, and I have absolutely no intention of stopping that. Now, I have in the past called out when Kuro have done things wrong. I've done it when Hoyo have did things wrong. I make an active effort to be as unbiased as I can, completely disregarding my personal affiliation or my own personal likes of a game or a developer. This has happened with Genshin, Tower of Fantasy, WuWa, Nikke, Arknights, everything. You can look through my channel. I've called out so many games and so many studios for doing dumb shit. And I genuinely, honestly think Kuro would appreciate this. And that is because Kuro, and I've covered this in a video before, have always valued constructive feedback and criticism. The reason I have loved Kuro for as long as I have is because they have given me the freedom to say whatever I want about their game. When I was sponsored for Punishing Grey Raven, they said, hey Stix, here, say whatever you want, do whatever you want. As long as, if you are critical, if you are negative, you provide valid reasoning as to why that is. The same thing with Wuthering Waves. I've done sponsored WuWa videos for like 5 of the 7 total patches thus far, along with pre-release sponsors. I've done 12 sponsors for Punishing Grey Raven. With this in mind, I do want to make my stance abundantly clear. I have given Kuro 24 hours, more than 24 hours, to make a public statement regarding their anniversary rewards. They haven't yet being the keyword. They might at some point after I do this video, and if that's the case, I'm more than happy doing a follow-up video. But I want to take a moment here to make my stance abundantly clear. Kuro messed up. They dropped the ball, and they ended up overvaluing what they offered players, in so doing completely alienating to an extent their current players, prioritizing new or returning players over those that have supported them all this time. And while I do think they messed up, and I do think the rewards that they are offering us are very insignificant, I also stand by my statement that the live stream, encompassing the entirety of it, the production value, the performances, the orchestral performance at the end, all of those individual segments that had different groups performing all the different stuff, every single part of this live stream was phenomenal. And I'm sure you saw the tweet I made addressing what I thought of the live stream as a whole, disregarding the rewards. Now, I've never said the rewards were good. I'm gonna go ahead here and actually play the video of me addressing the rewards during stream. How I thought the rewards would magnify how good the stream was and were actually the only thing holding the stream back from being perfection. What do I think was missing? I think what I like about Nikkei's anniversaries and Blue Archive's anniversaries are they give out like 100 to 200 free polls. So that was it, really. That was my only, like, I don't have anything wrong with the event. I thought the anniversary was literally as good as it could be. But, you know, it could have been a 10 out of 10 if we got something like 100 free polls instead of the 40. So, I just think it would have been cooler if we got more polls. Or they had a 100% banner. Navigating on over to the official 2.3 version preview, honestly, a lot of what they offered, a lot of what they did was really good. This reward right here, this is their initial reward for players in celebration of the anniversary. You can log in and you can claim an avatar and a free limited 10 pull. Realistically, that is their reward. If you log in during the event, like every other major patch, you get 5 limited and 5 standard pulls. You get a few hundred asterite along with a few other goodies. You get another limited 10 pull by participating in the QB Dermy warm-up, along with the brand new flight, the new wing skin, which is actually really cool. They're introducing 2 new skins. This, I actually genuinely think one of these skins should have been offered for free. When I saw this on stream, I guess my neurons activated and all I could focus on were how good these skins look. But at the same time, I think if they had rewarded players like they did with Sanhua's skin with one of these for free, I think, as specifically as part of the anniversary event, I think the anniversary rewards would have been much better received, but I don't think that's where they should have stopped. Either way, both these skins are incredible. You get a voucher that essentially provides a discount. There is the Gilded Night Market where you complete a set number of tasks and you get another limited 10 pull, along with weapon projections, phantom echoes, etc. There was a top-up bonus reset. This is to motivate whales to spend more. There is the upgraded returnee event, and I appreciate the fact here that they are providing players an incentive to come back. I genuinely do, because now is the perfect time to. The 2.x series of patches have been an incredible experience. You get another free limited 10 pull if you have not logged in for 60 days or more. There's the upgraded Pioneer podcast, Resounding Waves, which is a web event, completely unnecessary. The Birthday Blessing, which is actually a cool feature. From what they described on the stream, you can go out on what is essentially a little bit of a date with one of your resonators on the day of your birthday, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure how that's gonna function. I look forward to how they elaborate on that. There was Zani, and can we just take a moment here to appreciate here how incredible the art there looks for Zani. Holy shit, dude. Zani has the companion story. Chacona has the actual story event for the patch. There's a new permanent event, the Dreaming Deep, which A lot of people are happy. More permanent events means more regular content to do. There are new tactical hologram challenges, new phantom echoes, and then optimizations. And I think this is one of the things that many people overlook. They've taken for granted every single patch Kuro seems to make some kind of significant alteration to the game. So when they overhaul or they implement something in a patch like this, an anniversary patch, what happens is they just automatically assume it's gonna happen anyway. Most gacha games don't implement or alter nearly even a fraction of what WuWa does regularly. So I think honestly, some people have taken this for granted. There is the new feature Echo Aspect, which lets you change the appearance of your your wings. There is the data modification, which honestly, when I saw it on stream, I thought you could just alter the main stat of any leveled Echo, which would have been really cool, but unfortunately it has to be an unleveled Echo. They do need to fix this. They need to allow for you to alter any Echo of your choosing with a main stat. Although I would honestly have preferred like a substat, so I could guarantee something like crit rate or crit damage as a bare minimum on every new Echo. There's the ray tracing and 120 FPS improvements, which is fantastic. The removal of cooldowns for boss fights, which is going to make it much easier to grind bosses. There's a glossary feature. I'm not going to make use of that. There is the optimized file size, which is great. There are the 2 new resonators, Zani and Chikona. Honestly, I would have loved to have gotten Chikona as a free 5-star. I know a lot of people, they saw some things online and they automatically assumed we were gonna get a free 5-star. Not everyone did. Some people were hoping we'd get a free 5-star like we did way back with Shangli Yao. But I mean, let's be honest, we've already gotten our free 5-star. We've already gotten numerous 5-star selectors. And while PlayStation players, maybe new players since starting in 2.0 haven't had the opportunity to get Shang Liao, that doesn't change the fact that he has still been given. Maybe he'll be given again in the future. I don't know, maybe they'll change their minds and they will give a new character for free. Who knows? Either way, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get Chikona for free, but I understand these are both beautiful characters, and honestly, it makes sense. They put a lot of time and effort into developing them and creating them, so they should be rewarded in terms of revenue for their creations. Like always, there is the phase 1 and phase 2 convene periods that come with their weapons. And then this is where I think people got more upset. When I saw this during the stream, I thought to myself, oh, that's sick. We're gonna be able to get anniversary banners that are gonna guarantee a character for, and then no. I was under the impression here that they were going to be 100% guaranteed, but what I've been told and from what I've read, these are not actually guaranteed. These are 50-50 as well. That sucks. That actually genuinely sucks. I think if they were guaranteed, that would have been a lot better. That would have lessened the impact here, the blow. But at the same time, this is another thing I think they could have done. See, yes, they could have given us a 5-star character, but no, they didn't need to. Yes, it would have been great if we had gotten a free skin, but no, they didn't need to. This right here is their biggest fumble. What they should have done here is given one of these banners, made one of these banners, not only a guarantee, but at a reduced rate. They should have made it so you just do 40 standard pulls, 50 standard pulls. Not limited. They should have made it so you could just go in, do 40 standard pulls, and then you are guaranteed any character of your choosing. That's it. A lot of us have standard pulls available. We are rewarded with repeated standard pulls every single patch. Or if they had decided they wanted to be even more generous, they could have gone here and made one of these banners entirely free. They didn't need to make both phase 1 and phase 2 anniversary convenes free, but they could have at least made one. It could have been the first, it could have been the second, it really doesn't matter. I know plenty of people would have loved to have gotten any of these characters or any of these characters for free, any of these weapons or any of these weapons for free. I know plenty of people that would have been happy had they just been given the option of pulling for these characters with a guarantee at 40 standard. That way, their limited pulls for Chikona and for Zani would not be impacted. That is a great way to reward your players. That unfortunately was not done. The free skin was not done. The character selector was not done. And admittedly, what was done was we got a 10 pull. And I think a grand total of what seems to be 37 initial polls that are unrelated to any of the events that you actually have to do. And that is what we got. And that is why people are upset. They are warranted for being upset, 100%. Genuinely, I thought the event, the live stream specifically, I thought it was perfect. I thought, again, that the presentation of it was perfect. I thought the things that they showcased, the collabs, the banners, the anniversary banners, the free asteroid, the free polls, the summer skins, like I thought all of it was incredible. I loved the design, the sets, the amount of effort and quality that went into producing a live stream of this caliber. I thought it was perfect, but I did not like the fact that the rewards were so limited. And that is what I wanted to clear up today. I do not support a free 10 poll as reward. I often make the comparison here when it comes to anniversaries to Blue Archive and Nikke. Blue Archive offers 100 free 10 poll or 100 free polls every anniversary. Nikke offers anywhere from 100 to 200. And that is why I play both those games, especially Nikke, because I mean, getting 200 free polls every single anniversary is phenomenal. And I understand there's a difference here because Nikke requires you to get 3 dupes of a character to actually pass the wall that inhibits players from playing, and the characters get better as you continue to upgrade them, significantly better than in games like WuWa. So it's much more necessary, I think, in games like Nikke or Blue Archive comparatively to Wuthering Waves, so the comparison isn't entirely viable. But either way, there is a difference between the rewards you get from one game and the other, and I think WuWa here failed when it came to rewarding their players. They did open up a channel on Discord. I made a tweet here going over the channel that they opened. This was a feedback channel that players could leave feedback in. And within, I think it was like an hour, 2 hours, the channel got nuked. The reason it got nuked was because of all the explicit, derogatory, incredibly offensive and abusive things that were being left there. From who? I mean, I'm gonna leave that up to you to speculate. Probably the same people that spread all that hate, trying to take down videos, have the game censored. Honestly, Kuro should have expected this. They should have anticipated haters, trolls, or just angry people to have not possessed the ability to actually be civil. But, you know, that's just another blunder on their part. They have made numerous mistakes here. They fumbled a few times, but that I don't think is enough to slow them down. They need to take a moment here and they need to address this. They need to reward players. It doesn't need to be a free 5-star selector. It can be an additional few sets of temples, 40, 50, 100 temples. They could give us a free skin. They can change the banners. They can change the anniversary banners and make them guaranteed. They can change the anniversary banners and make it possible for us to select a character from them. These are the changes that need to be made. These are rewards that would be acceptable for their players, for us, for people that have supported them, either by playing, either by spending, or like I've done, like friends of mine like Saint Tantas and Tectone have done, creating content for them. This is just a friendly reminder. No person, no game, no studio is infallible, and everyone is capable of making blunders and making mistakes. And I strongly urge you to make sure your voice and your opinions on this are heard, but at the same time, please, for the love of fucking God, be civil. It's really not that hard. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you are not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.